You are watching WP TV.
Welcome back to the desk. The NHL block is finally here after a 3-year hiatus on the desk. The boys have been buzzing on the ice, and here to break down all the excitement, we have Joe, Anthony Walker, Andrew, and Anthony Sabino. You know, guys, Joe, the Devils have really been off to a blazing hot start, coming straight out of hell. So, see what I did there?
Yeah, I like that.
But I know you're a big Devils fan. I know you've been having fun watching the Prudential Center. It's been buzzing. What's been your key to their hot start?
Yeah, well, they just won last night against Toronto, 3-2 in overtime to continue their winning streak to 11 games now into the season. And one thing about this team is they're successful is because really it's the free agency and the veterancy on this team. You bring in guys like Brendan Smith, John Marino, 2 defensemen, Eric Hava, a winger. You also bring in Vita Vanacek, the goalie from Washington, who's been 10-0 so far this season at the goalie position, replacing Mackenzie Blackwood because he's injured. And also take a look at last year. You're bringing Dougie Hamilton, a defenseman from Carolina. He was really good last year, and he's been nothing but good as well on the defensive unit as well for this Devils team.
I love what that front office has done, really taking a step forward to start this season. Andrew, what are you seeing from the Devils?
I really like the scoring production so far, and there's been a lot of studs on this team that have been scoring a lot. But one person I want to highlight is Jesper Bratt, the Swedish winger. He's been going off so far this season. He has 22 points in 17 games. He got 7 goals and 15 assists. He's off to one of the best starts of his career, and he's really looking like a veteran leader on this young team.
That veteran leadership, like you and Joe both alluded to, has definitely made a difference. Walker, our Islanders fan, you got to talk about some Devils. It might hurt the soul a bit, but you got to give them some credit. Where are you going?
Yeah, credit where credit is due. Islanders have been great, but ultimately my big key for them is goaltending. Joe mentioned it earlier. Vita Vanacek has been absolutely insane. He's got 2.15 goals against average, a .916 save percentage, a throw shutout in there, and he's been great since Mackenzie Blackwood went down with an injury. Obviously, you got to give credit to the defense as well, but mainly my trophy for the Devils goes to the goaltending.
The one universal point of everything around the NHL, if you want to make a deep run come postseason time, you got to have goaltending. But from one Anthony to another, what are you seeing from the Devils?
Coming off that 11-game win streak and tied for second in the league, their offense have been phenomenal. They're getting points from all over the roster, 15 players with 5 or more points on the season, and they're second in the Eastern Conference for goals for. And you're hearing mostly about Nico Hischier, Jesper Bratt, Jack Hughes, Dougie Hamilton, who all have 14 or more points on the season, but they're all in different lines. So all the lines are producing like an insane amount. So.
Yeah, you mentioned 2 of their big stars, Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier. That young talent's really made that difference, taking that next step forward. But Anthony, we'll take things more over to your turf. Some Rangers, some Islanders, 2 teams in New York gotten off to good starts as well. Who do you like more to start this season?
Yeah, we're going to take a look at both these teams in stat comparison. I mean, you look at the breakdown. Islanders are 11-6. Rangers are 8-6. Islanders have a 3.35 goals per game. Rangers have 3.06. Goals against have about 2.5, 2.7. Power play percentage is about 20%, and then penalty kill is about 85% to 81%. I like the Rangers a lot. They were in the ECF last year. They ultimately could not get it done. Islanders are actually in a rebuild phase, but they're surprising a lot of people. But ultimately, if you want to pick between the 2 teams, I got to go with the New York Islanders. I know, I'm biased. Say what you will, whatever. But I'm big on head matchups. Islanders are 2-0 against the Rangers this year. They blew them. I don't want to say they blew them out, but they shut them out 3-0 in one game. They came back against them 3-1 in another game. Ultimately, 2-0. I expect that to continue. The Islanders have been on a roll this year. Give me Long Island.
Got to give them credit where credit is due, but I could see that coming. Andrew, where are you going?
I got to go with the Rangers, man, and they've started off very slowly, just like they did last year. Lines 1-4, they've been sloppy. They have not looked great. They only have 20 points so far in 18 games, but I think they're going to turn it around. I see them being a top team in the Metropolitan and in the East, maybe even the whole league. I'm really excited to watch Lafreniere, Kakko, and Hedl. They're going to light a fire under this team, and I'm really excited to watch them for the rest of the year.
You like that, the ascending young line that carried them so far in the playoffs. Sabino, we got 1 Rangers, 1 Islanders. Who you like?
I like the Rangers. I agree with him. They got young players. They're going to break out soon. They've been producing a lot more shots on goal. They just haven't been scoring. One example, they versed the Nashville Predators. They lost 2-1, but they were producing 30-plus shots, and they just weren't scoring. They have a little slip-ups with their defense, but overall, they've been the better team.
We got some Ranger fan, a little bit biased from Ranger fan, a little bit biased from our Islander fan.
All right.
Joe, our Devil?
I mean, they're 2-0. Listen, the Rangers, they lost to Tampa in the ECF championship. series. You know, Shesterkin and that Rangers team went on a phenomenal run, but now they finally come out to reality. And I'm going with the New York Islanders, and the reason I say that is because it's really the play of Ilya Sorokin. You know, he's been nothing but a stud so far. He's got 7 wins so far in the season for the Islanders. And also, you talk about rebuilding. They also have a lot of veterancy guys in there as well. That's been a huge impact as well for the team. Matt Barzal, you know, Brock Nelson, also Kyle Palmieri, a former double, and even Zach Parise, another former double.
You know, the Rangers, I'll probably take the Rangers if I can throw my vote in there. That playoff experience, I think, will make a difference. But some teams, you know, that were used to kind of having good starts, that have been off to some slow starts this season. Andrew, what team in the NHL has really kind of disappointed you to this point?
So far, the Pittsburgh Penguins have absolutely disappointed me. We'll take a look at these stats right now. They have a 6-7-3 record, and they're 7th in the Metropolitan Division. They're allowing 3.5 goals a game, and their power play percentage only at 18.2%, and their penalty kill only at 76. So it has not been a great start for them. You'd think when they have guys like Crosby, Letang, and Malkin on this team, they would be at the top of the Metropolitan, but they're actually not.
You know, those big names that have carried that franchise for so long, not gotten to the start that they would like. Joe, who's disappointed you?
You know, for St. Louis, you know, a bunch of Blues down there, and well, no pun intended, but for the Blues right now, they're actually 8-8 currently right now after their win against Chicago. Listen, this team was on a 8-game losing streak, and they're trying to convert that now into a 5-game winning streak. This was a team that won the Stanley Cup back in 2019. However, they're on a very disappointing start. You know, unfortunately, they had a disbanded team because they just weren't able to keep everyone together with the money. You know, but for the Blues in St. Louis, it's been a tough stretch, but they're really trying to make a comeback as they currently sit 5th right now in the Central Division.
You know, definitely have some time to make it up, but, you know, like you said, Joe, the Blues have definitely are singing the blues to this point. Sabino, where are you going?
I'm going to go with the Calgary Flames. You know, they've been on fire in terms of losing. They're currently at a 7-6-2 in the season. They had a great start. They were 5-1, but ended up having a 7-game losing streak and are now 2-8 on their last 10 games played. They have great players. They have Jonathan Huberdeau. They have Nazem Kadri. They have Mackenzie Weegar, who is a great defenseman, but they're just not producing this season.
You know,
And
Flames definitely gotten off to a little bit of that. Not so hot of a start. Definitely need to heat up a little bit, does Calgary. Walker.
Yeah, Washington, they're called the Capitals, but they're taking a capital L tonight. What happened, Capitals? They're 7-9-3. This is a team that won 44 games last year, but they've really fallen off. Alex Ovechkin's going to do his thing, that's as always, and you see where they are in the Metropolitan Division. They're 6th. Our power play percentage just around 19%, penalty kill percentage around 80%. Ovechkin's going to do his thing. He's one of the greatest hockey players we've ever seen, but the rest of the team has to step up around him.
You know, you mentioned Alex Ovechkin, one of the best hockey players for a long time now in the NHL. We're going to keep things with stars here. Joe, so much talent in the NHL that goes unnoticed, but who is your standout player to this point?
Listen, he's from Edmonton. He plays on the Edmonton Oilers, and he's been a guy that I loved so much watching. Connor McDavid. He's got 15 goals in the season and 17 games played. He's got 17 assists, 32 points, and his plus-minus is 2. He's a 2-time Hart Trophy winner. He's a 4-time Ross Trophy winner. He's also been a 5-time All-Star. And right now, he's been helping his Oilers team right now, sitting 4th in the Pacific with a 9-8 record. He's been nothing but absolute stud since he got drafted back in the first round. So, you know, he's been, you know, the star player for Edmonton, and they really try to build around him.
You know, that face of that franchise, he's only going to be here for a lot longer. Anthony, who's your standout?
Yeah, everyone's going to give Connor McDavid his roses, as they should. He's great, but I'm going to go with his Leon Draisaitl. 17 games, 9 goals, 19 assists, 28 points. That's 3rd in the AHL. 2014, 3rd overall pick. He has been absolutely great, and he's been a stalwart there. He is like he is a great supplemental piece for Connor McDavid, and he's been a great supplemental piece, and I expect them to build around those 2 players
They really
going
complement
forward.
each other very well.
Very well.
Yeah,
Very well.
Edmonton's definitely got that nice 1-2 punch. Andrew, who stood out for you on the ice?
Well, I'm going to bring it back to our neck of the woods. I'm going to go with the New York Ranger, Chris Kreider. He's been an absolute weapon the last 2 years for the Rangers. He has 7 goals and 8 assists in his 18 games, and his plus-minus is 3. He's been very aggressive in the forecheck, and he's winning battles at the crease, and it's allowing him to get inside and get those tip-ins for goals, and that's what he does best. So,
You know, he's been lighting up Madison Square Garden a lot this season. He's going to continue to do so. Sabino, close us out.
Okay, going down to San Jose, who has not had a hot start to the season, they certainly have a hot defenseman. Erik Karlsson, 28 points on the season, 11 goals, 17 assists. He recorded 10 goals and 10 assists in his first 10 games, which is the first out of any defenseman in the NHL, which is crazy stats for someone who's a defenseman.
You know, that he's been a standout for them all season long. All these guys have really shredded up the ice. But we're going to hit a slap shot over to Mark and the guys in the NFL crew right here on WP TV. Don't go anywhere.